great who was accused of and ultimately acquitted of the brutal 1994 slayings of his ex-wife and her friend has died, according to his family. He was 76 years old. A statement from them says on April 10th, our father, Orenthal James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer. He was surrounded by his children and grandchildren. During this time of transition, his family asked that you would please respect their wishes for privacy and grace. All right, we welcome in now Stephen A. Smith to get his thoughts on the passing of O.J. Simpson. Stephen A., your reaction when you heard this news?
Obviously, like most folks in the world, mixed emotions. On one hand, obviously your heart goes out to his family. They're certainly not the ones who were accused of and indicted on double murder charges and ultimately acquitted, but nevertheless not believed by most people to be innocent. That's not on them. That was on him. So your heart goes out to his family because obviously they loved him very, very much. But in the same breath, you look at it from the sports standpoint, he was one of the greatest athletes we've ever seen in history. A Heisman Trophy winning, a star running back at USC, winning in the NFL, primarily with the Buffalo Bills, and, rushed over 2,000 yards in the season. He did a lot of great things throughout his illustrious career, and we all knew that, but it will forever be tainted by the charge of double murder from the 1994 killing of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. And so because of how that trial unfolded, because of what we witnessed in terms of watching it on television, hearing the evidence, understanding that it was the greatness of Johnny Cochran in all likelihood that got him off as opposed to his outright innocence. In the eyes of a lot of people, he was considered a persona non grata. And, he spent time in jail thereafter. All of that stuff, what most people believe to be was trumped up charges just to get him because they couldn't get him on a double murder charges, so they got him on something else later on the line. But sympathy was not a word that came in his direction by most because most folks in the world believe that he's guilty of getting away with murder, and that's just how it goes.
I do want to ask you, Stephen A., because we've talked about how he is a very controversial figure. He was a very controversial figure. How do you balance the fact that he was who he was, obviously on the football field, and then, of course, also the controversial legacy that he leaves behind as well?
There's no balance to it. You can remember and you can engage in recall by bringing up his athletic prowess and his tremendous career as a football player. But it all pales in comparison to him being perceived as a double murderer. When you see Ron Goldman's father, Fred Goldman, and the way that he went after O.J. Simpson for years, when you see how heartbroken the Goldman family was, when you see the footages of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman and how graphic that stuff was. Remember, court TV really wasn't in existence back then. Legal analysts weren't being hired by networks back then. You didn't see stuff on trials on television back then. This was the birth of all of that. So in terms of its impact on a television generation, there's no question it's profound in that regard. But most would say for all the wrong reasons, because it came at the expense of two lives lost who are believed to have had their lives taken by this individual. There's no balance when it comes to that. When you think about O.J. Simpson, you may remember it.
Dots had succumbed to prostate cancer. He was fighting a long battle of cancer. He was at the age of 76. O.J. Simpson, known for his football prowess on the days of use at USC and the Buffalo Bills. Later, he's more infamously known for going on trial for the murder of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend, Ronald Goldman. He was acquitted of the criminal trial, but later convicted on civil charges. Caitlyn Jenner tweeted, let's take a look at the tweet. Do we have it up? We're going to have it up, Ash. Sorry for the delay, but Caitlyn Jenner tweeted, very tacky, very distasteful.
Yes.
Basically what it said was good riddance. No matter what you think of someone, Ocho, you don't celebrate someone's death.
You never do that. You never do that. It's one thing about God. God don't play. You don't celebrate nobody's death. Even if you despise that person based on personal issues y'all might have gone through. Now you have to remember. Now, OJ,
Well,
we don't like pretty.
Yeah.
You better be careful.
You got to be careful because you never know. You never know when your time is up. Every time we born, we all come with an expiration date. Now we don't know when that day is, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to speed it up because the tongue is powerful. If you're gonna celebrate somebody else, listen. If you're gonna celebrate somebody else's death, now you got to be careful. And God can show you better than He can tell you.
Yes, absolutely. Ocho, I'm a little older than you, so I know OJ.
Now. Come on now. I was there. Listen, with OJ, I'm not gonna tell you. I can tell you where I was, but go ahead and bring it. I'm gonna fall back. I'm gonna piggyback off of you.
If you're probably around my age,
yes, sir.
Maybe a little older. OJ Simpson was the guy.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about OJ Simpson. We're not talking about what transpired in '94 coming forward. We're talking about prior
on the field.
If you played running back, you wanted to get the number 22. You wanted to be the juice. And plus, he was really the first black athlete to have commercial success. Everybody remember OJ running through the airport, jumping over everything.
Yep. I tried that once.
He sold cars. He had an orange juice commercial. He was really the first black. And TV. Remember OJ with what was that movie that he was in with
the Naked Gun?
Montgomery?
The Naked Gun.
No. He was in Naked Gun, but he was in a movie with Elizabeth Montgomery. What was the name of that movie? It wasn't Burning. It was A Killing Affair. Yeah, OJ got credits, major credits on his resume.
Yeah.
So he was really the first black athlete to have commercial appeal. Now, we know Muhammad Ali. But Muhammad Ali didn't have the commercial appeal because of what transpired of him becoming a Muslim and not wanting to go to Vietnam. He's like, they Viet Congs ain't calling me no N-word. I ain't going over there killing them innocent people. When y'all want me to fight over there, but y'all won't fight for me right here. OJ had commercial appeal.
Right.
And so everybody, dudes like healthy dudes, chubby dudes, man, I want to be running back. Man, get your fat butt on the offensive defensive line. You ain't getting no 22. They ain't got but 122 Ocho. And this dude, you 200 pounds, talking about you gonna be a running back.
Running back, yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
OJ was it. Now, a lot of people try to erase what he did on the field.
Right.
Because of what transpired in 1994.
Yeah.
I believe, look, everybody knows what he did. He ran the football the first. He rushed for 2,000 yards in 14 games. And 14 in Buffalo. You know what the weather gets like in Buffalo. You ever played in Buffalo, Ocho?
Yeah, I played in Buffalo twice. Boy, it was cold now.
Okay, so cold. You know. And New York, it gets cold in New York.
Yeah, it does.
So I just, like I said, I don't celebrate death. No matter what you think he may or may not have done, I'm still not celebrating his death. Because I just know one thing. In 1994, 3 families' lives changed forever.
Yeah.
OJ kids never had peace because everybody looked at them with a side eye and a jaded eye.
Yeah.
The Nicole Brown Simpson, her family was never the same. Ron Goldman, his family was never the same. They never were ever going to be able to hug their loved ones and tell them, I love you. So I empathize with the families.
Yeah.
But I don't celebrate someone's death.
Yeah, you got
that's not my place to judge. I first of all, and we're not going to Ocho, we're not going to retry the case. First of all, it's 30 years ago, and second of all, we're not qualified.
No, at all. And people got to be very careful. I think we become a society that is very numb when it comes to death. Very numb. We're very numb because we're so used to seeing it constantly every single day. And if you're someone that is not beloved by the masses, and you have any type of mistakes or ill will that you've done in the past, those mistakes are consistently brought up all the time, especially in his case, being that it was such a global impact during that time in 1994 when that incident happened. And obviously the ruling and the verdict didn't sit well with a lot of people. Obviously it was celebrated by some, and then by some they hated it. And so they became to hate him, for obvious reasons. But
we should hate a lot of people. We should hate a lot of people because there's a lot of people that look that's the opposite color of us, that's murdered some of our people. And we have to. What was the guy in Florida that killed that young boy?
Brother Brother Zimmerman.
Yeah, Zimmerman.
Yeah. It's
hey, listen. The first thing I heard was Shannon, he went to trial and he got off. Let it go.
Right.
Well, you notice, Ocho, if you notice, Ocho, and I'm not going to get on no soapbox and I'm not going to preach tonight. But I'm just telling you, we always ask black people to let it go.
Yeah.
We always got to be big. Yeah. We always got to be the bigger person. We always got to turn the other cheek.
Yeah, got to. You got to. Listen, they want us to always give grace. Always want you to give grace. But that's neither here nor there. But again,
give it, Ocho. But when do we get to receive it?
Boy, it's going to be a long time. And when we do get to receive it, we ain't going to be here. I can tell you that. When we do get to receive that grace for everything, no matter how long ago it was, we won't be around to know what it feel like. I can tell you that.
Remember what I told you, Ocho? I was telling about the great poet Nikki Giovanni, and she was explaining to James Baldwin.
Yes, sir.
She said, I love you the most, but I get the least of you. We give the